And how about now? Man, I don't know what the problem with that is. That is, that one I don't understand. It, like everything else is working. Hold on, let me switch over here real fast. You guys can't hear me over here now, right? Let's I bet you can hear me now. Testing, testing, check 1, 2. That sound good? I don't know what that's about, man. We got the webcam fixed. So, man, yesterday was quite a day with this stupid computer. I had to reinstall Windows yesterday. You guys knew all that. That was in the second stream. Then the webcam was acting weird. I had to reconnect everything, and everything broke in OBS. And then this morning when I sat down, the audio was broken again. Luckily, I'm getting good at rebuilding it on the fly. It's not difficult, but I don't understand why it all shit the bed all at once. Yesterday afternoon, I came in to do some testing. We did some background recording, and I thought everything was good. We filmed 3 backgrounds, I think, yesterday. This third one right here was the last one we filmed, and I was like, I don't know if I'll keep it or not. Ended my stream, raided Eric, and then my computer crashed, and I lost it anyway. So, started reading up on these fucking Elgato problems, and I switched over to a different Elgato program. I've been using 4K capture. Switched over to this one called Elgato Studio. Mic is doubled on that screen. On this screen? Which screen? Is my mic doubled here? No, okay. But is my mic doubled over here? Sounds good over here? It just doubles on the transition. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't know, man. Computer shit the bed again yesterday afternoon after we raided Eric. So I did another bit of research. Oh, what's up, Maynard? Anyway, just going to town in the background. I'm just trying to get my computer back to normal so I don't drop any recordings. Oh, Albert. Yeah, he's the itchy boy. He got bit by some mosquitoes, so he's got a couple of bites on his thigh that he is not happy about. Yeah, I'm just fucking annoyed. I'm just fucking annoyed by this whole computer. Hopefully we're good, though. I've gotten away from Elgato 4K capture. I don't think I'll ever use that program again. So far, using Elgato Studio seems to be working just fine. Although I haven't tried to record while streaming, so we'll see what that. We're just going to spend another day of making backgrounds because I always need them, and I want to familiarize myself with Forza 6. What's up, Albert? Your breakfast is downstairs. I already made your breakfast. If you want it, go down and eat. It's so good to see you, Quinn Sox. Thank you. Anyway, yesterday was just a confusing nightmare of tech problems, and I think maybe we're past it, although I have no idea why when I sat down to record this morning, the audio input no longer worked. That made no sense. Hopefully that's not a thing I got to get used to. And it looks like that. Looks like I got some delay. Well, whatever. Okay. How's everybody doing? I wasn't happy with this shot yesterday, and did I ever watch KD play while attending UT? I never went to a game, but I watched on TV a little bit. He was kind of a, obviously a phenomenon people were excited about, so I did watch some of his, like, just UT games, but I never went in person. Oh, you know what? I should probably be in my car. Anyway, we just want to test my shit today further. Does Elite Dangerous allow you to go HUDless, and does it have an idle camera that allows you to sit still for 30 minutes? Does it allow you to go first person so you don't see the camera? People are lovely in recommending games for me to do backgrounds in, and 99% of the time they don't work. It's very difficult to find a game you can actually film backgrounds in. The secret sauce is being able to have a free cam or hide the character completely, have a invisible HUD, and not get kicked from the game for being still for 30 minutes. If you can do that, then I'll give it a shot, but just warning you. Unless you can verify to me that those things are possible, I'm not going to bother downloading the game and going through all the testing because it's frustrating. And every time... Is Elite Dangerous an Xbox game? The Xbox version is super outdated. The opening first 30 minutes are rough. Well, see, I'm not going to spend 30 minutes. Yeah, it's too much barrier to entry for me to film. I appreciate the offer, the recommendation, but I'm not going to. It was hard enough to go through the tutorial of this to get to filming. Thank you to all recommendations for games to film backgrounds in. I'm very happy with this one. Look at this. Can Elite Dangerous do that? Oh, that's nice. All right, let's continue to test. All right, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing bad. We're going to go for... Well, that just kicked in real fast. Let's start over again. Cancel that recording, starting a new recording. Okay. We're going to go for 15 minutes. What about Minecraft? We've used it before. The camera's an FPV drone. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Forza with the 30-minute statement. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Braxton, man. Just fought demons in tutorial races to get... Yeah, please don't distract me with other games that may or may not work when we just got this one working. Good morning, Geoff. How was your trip to the Maritimes? It's fucking awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I love Canada, or at least Eastern Canada. What's up? MJ Stafford, thank you for the sub. Boy Saint. Arcalargo. That's a cool name, Arcalargo. Solid. Force has been solid for backgrounds. I just... the people come in and they're like, oh, you should use this game. It'll be perfect for it. And then I download the game, and then I spend like 15 minutes getting it all into it, and then I fight with it for 20 minutes, and then it goes, oh, it doesn't work. And then you're like, oh, I just wasted an hour. So I'm happy with this one. We'll do this one. Racing games are okay. I don't hate them. Oh, no. Is that guy coming for us? Where'd he go? Did you see that? Where the fuck did that guy go? Does anyone know where I can find the real Geoff? He died years ago. Anyway, we are continuing our stress testing of this machine today to make sure it is fixed and working properly so I don't lose recordings for regulation. Question for Geoff in chat. Should I get a 1 of 1 auto graded? Well, you don't need to because it's a 1 of 1. So it really shouldn't affect the value. 1 of 1s, getting them graded is considered kind of superfluous unless you're doing it to protect the card or because you like the look. Like, I'm one of those weirdos who I like the way PSA slabs specifically look. So I will only get PSA slabbed cards. That's why all those are PSA slabbed. Like, I won't buy CSG or Beckett or any of the others just because I like the uniformity. So I would get it graded so that it would match the other cards in my collection, but I don't really think you need to. Get it authenticated. There you go. Yeah, if you want to get slabbed, just get it authenticated. But you really shouldn't need to grade a 1 of 1 because the 1 of 1 precludes whatever the grade's going to be. Just finished reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 6. You're 6 ahead of me. Thoughts on tag grading? Is that a grading company, TAG? I don't keep up with the... I don't keep up with all the grading drama, all the different grading companies and their drama. They found an unreleased album by Ted Lucas. No, I didn't see that. That's cool. Would love it if you could watch Zambonis in the NHL game. I've always loved watching Zambonis before hitting the ice. What's your favorite card? I don't know. I got a couple of 101 Marcus Smarts that I'm real proud of. I got some vintage stuff I like. I guess maybe my Billy Ripken fuckface card. Emily is just about over shingles. I think she's still got a little pain, but it's not like it was. Said this at the start of chat, but I'm going to say it again because I'm so excited. My boss bought me a Billy Ripken card after we met with a card shop to make videos. Oh yeah, I saw that on Reddit. Congratulations, that's very cool. At least I think it was you I saw on Reddit. Just in it for the backgrounds. I'm driving a Jeep, or I'm driving a Jimmy right now, a GMC Jimmy. Sad I only caught the final minute of last night's afternoon stream, but I'm glad I can catch the morning stream. Yep, you can catch the morning stream. We're just going to film backgrounds and make sure my computer doesn't shit the bed this morning. And then hopefully after today, we'll have enough backgrounds for a while and we can go back to playing cozy simulators. You going to throw any Jumo scares into the backgrounds? Nah, no Jumo, no jump. If it happens, it's cool, but I'm not going to manufacture it. That's pretty. Do I have a dream car? Yeah, Grand Wagoneer. Like a 86 Grand Wagoneer. 88. I like old Broncos, but old Broncos have kind of become a part of tech dude bro culture. Not really into them anymore, based on the associations of the people who drive them, at least around town. So I've focused more on my love of Grand Wagoneers these last few years. Am I going to personally play 007? I don't think so, but we'll definitely record it for regulation. There are not only old, like, don't get me wrong, a 68 Bronco would be awesome, but they're incredibly expensive now because they've become popular. And the people who drive them, at least around Austin, are kind of like dickhead tech pro dudes. I don't really want to roll with that crew. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss's yellow Wagoneer is a great car. Yeah, more a Wildcat. Got about 9 minutes left on this. We'll reframe and go somewhere else. Tech Bro Cowboys? No, just Tech Bros. Not a lot of cowboys in Austin. The ones that are the people that do purport to be cowboys in Austin are mostly all hat, no cattle kind of guys, as we say in town. You get issued your fucking too big, never worn cowboy hat when you move into the country, when you move into the city limits. I do like an old Mustang. 65, though. 66. Nixon 4. I don't think that's going to happen. All-timer podcast episode today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need a lifted F-150 for work. Okay. (1967) Mercury Cougar. 1934 Ford Model T. There you go. Is there a law that specifically restricts to wearing cowboy hats? No. If that were the case, then Allen Boots and Tacovas and those places would go out of business. No, you just have to want to spend too much money on a hat or a pair of boots in Austin to look like a cowboy. That's all. Good morning, the Bageel. 99 Toyota Corolla. That car will run forever. See you later, Plum Bum Pendulum. I'm excited to get back to House Flipper or Tiny Bookshop or even TCG, but I just feel like today we need to use this time to make sure that the goddamn recording setup is working properly. Like, for instance, the fact that the audio was dead when I came in this morning, no idea how or why. I didn't do anything. I can't imagine what would have caused that. Yeah. Geoff, make the donuts. Got to make the donuts. That's right. Got to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. We are definitely making donuts this morning. Have you appeased the machine spirits? I hope so. I did about half my day yesterday was fucking around with this computer, just trying to rebuild everything that crashed. And then, of course, after you reinstall Windows, like, OBS is useless. Everything disconnects. And then, for some reason, after I set it up last night, it was disconnected again this morning. It's a little annoying. Last night you said if we have Fringe, we should tell them about regulation. Talking to myself, I said that I did tell my friend, but they have yet to listen. Just told them to join us and the cool kids on the stream, and they finally responded saying they're finally listening to regulation. I couldn't be more excited. Hell yeah. Thank you, Cosmic Crisp. Really appreciate that. Yeah, there are about 8 billion people on Earth right now, 8.5, something like that, and I would appreciate it if all of them listened. You have an iPad connected to OBS at a film station at work that disconnects every morning. Yeah, it's weird. Everything else was working this morning when I came in. Just the audio was all disconnected again from my Rodecaster. I don't know why. But at least now I know to look for it when I sit down, and it takes seconds to rebuild. Anyone remember the SNL sketch where they were cowboys around the campfire singing the hook was, "I'm going to be a better cowboy"? No, I don't remember that. What's everybody doing today? I'm going to stream here with you guys for a couple hours, and then I have to call my insurance company to go over some quotes, make sure I'm quoting the right things. Hey, thank you, Freelance, for for the sub. Appreciate that. Thank you to anybody who subs. Work's been mushing Mr. Sistafista's brain. Designing some roundabouts. Nice. Waiting for the fuel injector to get delivered. Hell yeah. Sprinkler inspection at a mall. That sounds fun, Tepid. $1 million, but every month you get a root canal. I'll do it. No, I won't. I still can't believe OBS is the leading stream recording platform. Yeah, it's so much better than. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's better than Elgato. Dealing with those two together is a fucking nightmare, though. Thank you, Greeky Floorboards, for the sub. Doing tech for a fringe show tonight. Nice. Engine swap on a ProMaster work van. Everybody's doing more interesting stuff than me. I just have to call State Farm. Well, that's not all I got to do. I got a bunch of stuff to do after that, but that's the next on my list when I'm done here. I have to build that game that I came up with yesterday for tomorrow's recording, if I can get it together. Ay. Designing a wrap for a ProMaster work van. That sounds fun. Congratulations on it being your weekend, freelance. That's the end of the coffee. Fixing the laundry detergent dispenser in a hotel. That's an interesting gig. Any hard out today? Not really. I think the hard out might be stomach related. We'll see how I feel. Yesterday I felt 100% all day long. I was like, oh, I'm finally 100%. Today woke up feeling not quite 100%. We'll see. Had to get my tooth pulled yesterday. Ooh. Recording backgrounds. That's what we're doing, yeah. I'm going to go see James Blake tonight. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if I know a single... I know the name. I'm enjoying hitting the mascots. When you do so, their faces change, which makes for fun photos. Approving or denying business filings. Nice. We get our Geoff Yap. Yeah. I like this field. This is very pretty. This will make for a nice, relaxing episode background. Meeting with a famous aerospace museum in Kalamazoo, Michigan, called the Air Zoo. Going to make a sweet commercial for them. I'm very excited. That sounds awesome. Yeah, the worst part of having air is you can't relax completely. I can't either. I cannot relax until every single thing is completely done for the day. Otherwise, it just itches at my head. Trying to get tickets to the Smashing Pumpkins Orchestral show in London. Oh, it's raining. Nice. A little bit of weather. Any plans to revisit the first idea for the worst days draft? People's worst days? No, I don't think so. We are going to do... I think we're going to do, on Friday, we're going to record a draft that you guys recommended. I brought up on Monday, and I think we're going to do it. It's the build the ultimate fast food meal from different menus draft. I think we're going to record that Friday. I don't remember who suggested it, but we're definitely going to record it. Last week, I went to the Ottawa Air Museum. Nice. McDonald's Coke, for sure, for me. Yeah. That'll be maybe the first thing I pick. Probably the most important thing on the menu for me. I know he was in a few AH videos, but did you see Chilled Chaos retired? Yeah, I did. I did see that, and congratulations to him. I'll be interested to see what he does going forward. But I always appreciated him. He's a nice dude. I don't know him super well. I think he was a lot closer to Jeremy and Matt and those guys. But I filmed with him a couple times. He was in Hardcore Monopoly Season 2, I believe it was. And we did some Let's Plays and stuff with him and the other Chilled Chaos people. Anthony, I think his name is in real life. I always really liked him in person. Really nice dude. Seems like a real good-natured, sweet guy. So happy with anybody who's able to retire doing the things that they love. You know, I don't know if that means he's financially secure for the rest of his life, or it just means he's retiring from content and then is going to live behind the scenes. But either way, I hope it works out for him. I tried to retire from content, and when I became the creative director at Rooster Teeth, and that didn't work out for me that way. Not for a myriad of reasons, but not the least of which is that I missed it. This is all I want to do. This is, all I want to do is podcast. I do this for fun and support of it, but all I really want to do is be, my lame version of Howard Stern. I don't know what else I would do with my life if I weren't doing that. Producing was not it. I enjoyed that. It was a challenge. I really appreciated it. I loved producing. I was really proud of some of the stuff I produced, like hardcore. What was that thing called? Survive Block Island. Is that what it was called? Yeah. I produced that. That was great, but I prefer creating content. 18 minutes? That's good. We went too long anyway. Okay. Nothing crashed. That's a good sign. Is that thing moving? Or is it standing still? It is moving. Let's see where it goes. Oh, I guess it goes right here. Let's see if we can film something over here. Buddy, you need to go eat your breakfast soon. No. Get back up there. I bet nobody's gonna. Yeah, it's just gonna spin around. So we shouldn't bother showing the getting on and off, because it's gonna break immersion when you see people don't actually get on and off. But maybe we'll do. This could work. Yeah. Try this for 15 minutes. This isn't the most interesting shot or anything. I just think it's cute to have the... I almost said funiculars, but yeah. Can you ride that gondola? I don't think so. This is an interesting question, though. I technically haven't tried to ride the gondola, but no, I don't think so. We'll fuck with it in a minute. Does the background change every 15 minutes, or are you just testing and not doing full recordings? No, it just loops. I record for about... I used to, when we first started doing this, I would record for the full length of the episode, like an hour, hour and 10 or whatever, and that just was pointless. It's just a waste of time, and there's no need to. So now I record for about 15 minutes, and then Nick just loops it as many times as he needs to. And that's a much more workable scenario. I want endless Dillbot content. Yeah, Dillbot's pretty cool. Yeah, Dillbot's all right. He's cool. I could have filmed this better. Framed this better. Let's do that. I'm not happy with this. Stop. and stop. A little bit further. There we go. Now that's what you want. There we go. Way better. All right, 15 minutes of this. Nice. I like that. A lot of cars out today. There's one of those little baby trucks that I see all over Austin now. People love those things. You would like to formally request that I do a Boston Celtics quiz on Sporkle sometime. I've never heard of Sporkle before. That's quite a name. I have no idea who Josh Jacob is or what the news is. K-Trucks? Yeah, yeah. There's a couple places in Austin that sell them, and I see them all over town now. Pretty cheap, too, from what I can tell. Green Bay Packers TV. That's not my car. My car's behind me. I don't know what car that is, but my car's on the other side of the... I parked it, you know, it's at my 7 o'clock. I don't know what that is over there. Is that my car? No. Whose car is it? I like the little accent going though. When you moved your camera, there was an accident. Oh, okay. That's something fun to happen in the background. Somebody's going. There we go. There we go. They're working it out. I do like a little bit of chaos in the background. Yeah, they sorted it out. Just piling up cars. Yeah, this is nice. I can get used to this. Fingers crossed. I'm recording in 1080p today instead of 4K. I hope that's fine. I guess I could record in 4K. I just don't see the point in it. That's sounds terrible there, Jeebus. I'm glad I hadn't heard of it. Was supposed to train some people today to help me, but it's too busy to take people off the phones. So no training for me. Got to record an AK till the computer catches fire. Yeah, maybe. We need to catch the super train. We need to get... I want to do some sweet downtown shots. We need to do the cherry blossoms, wherever the fuck those are. Nobody seems to know. Et cetera, et cetera. 8K fireplace. How many of these do you film in a batch? It just depends. I try to make... Whoa. Well, that came out of nowhere. I try to film at least... I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes I'll just film like 4 in a session and then move on. I'm pretty far ahead right now, I believe. But I wanted to test this new game out. And anytime I get the feeling like maybe I'm getting close to being caught up, I'll go through and film a bunch. Last time I did this, I filmed, I don't know, probably 15, but I did it on my own outside of work or outside of streaming. I do this a lot more outside of streaming than I do during streaming. I'm really only doing it on streaming today because I want to use the time to test my setup before I record Let's Plays tomorrow. You think because it's summertime the cherry blossoms aren't in bloom? I think they're always in bloom in this video game, but I just don't know where in the video game they are. Have you listened to Blank Check with David and with Griffin and David's David Lynch miniseries? No, I don't know who those people are. I think it may only be in spring. I know where if you want to look. Yeah, we'll look in a minute. As soon as we're done with this, we can look. I like this wet street. Careful, buddy. You're going to slow. Woo! That was cool. Gorgeous game. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I was blown away by how beautiful 5 was. And then I feel like I filmed... Nice. And there he goes. I feel like I filmed in it for like 3 months and then 6 came out, so. Jazzed for the upgrade almost immediately, feels like. Do you start timer for this or film 15? I film 15 minutes. Roundabout. Stream got you addicted to a Tiny Bookshop. That's great. It's a great game. It's an absolutely great game. I wish we were... Well, I don't really wish we were playing it today. We'll be playing it again soon. I'm happy to be doing this, but I do enjoy it a lot, and I'll be excited to get back to it on stream. I guess next week. Yeah, today's Wednesday, so this is the last day I'll stream this week, except for Friday, when I'll be doing the regulation stream at 4 p.m. to 5:01 p.m., best time of the week. So if you're around on Friday, please join us for the Regulation Friday stream over on the Regulation Twitch. And, of course, Regulation Podcast 107 came out today, so I'd appreciate it if you'd listen to that if you haven't already or if you don't already plan on it. I hear it was a good one. I did a little $1 million gauntlet in it. Good morning, everybody. I've been fighting a fucking tire, and I'm fucking losing. Hey. It's down there. He hasn't eaten it yet. Will you get... I don't want it to go bad sitting out too long. Here, I'll kick him out. Okay. Mark. It'd be cool if we could get 8 of these filmed this morning. This will be number 2. Do you stream at the regulation office or your own? I stream both. Both. I don't do personal streams at the regulation office, but I stream for regulation at work and at home, just depending on what the week is and what we're doing. She was right. He got up. Fridays we try to stream from the office. Yeah, just try to do our best to be in person as much as possible. Usually, Mondays for the break show, and then Thursdays after the podcast. Sometimes we'll go in to record in person, and then always Fridays like a full day in the office. So we'll do live action, supplementals, let's plays, whatever, and then just roll it into the 4 p.m. stream. Much love. Never catch streams, but wanted to thank you for all the great entertainment over the years. No problem. Glad you were able to stop by. Click and collect. Hopefully you can hang out for a little bit. What's up, Free Hugs Rider? Congratulations on your watch streak. We have 5 more minutes on this bad boy. Have you guys done multiple people recording the podcast episodes in the office together? No. We don't record the podcast in person. Are we going to have a pinball machine collection at the office? Collection might be too much of a word, but there is a sister game to Earthshaker that's about tornadoes. I think it's called Whirlwind, maybe something like that. And we've now that we're aware of it, we want to get it potentially. So we could have 2 pinball machines at the office at some point, but I don't know that we'll end up with like a full arcade or anything. Thank you for the sub. Free Hugs Rider. Sometimes Eric will record the podcast from the office, but when he does, it's just him. I've recorded the podcast from the office once, I think. But yeah, we don't do it. The podcast is, we try to record in the exact same way we always have. Richard Hell. Yeah, he's an author as well. Richard Hell and the Voidoids was the name of his band. He sang a song called I'm Your Man, baby, I'm your man. Would the regulation office survive 2 pinball machines? I don't see why not. Yeah, it's a nice little scene. It's got 3 minutes to go, and then we'll go search for the cherry blossoms and see if they're in season. I had to take an AI acceptance survey. Good Lord. Ever listened to Dead Milkmen? Yeah, my entire childhood. They were a huge band when I was growing up. It was one of the first punk bands I got into. Big Lizard in My Backyard is a classic album that everybody my age has imprinted on their brain. Butch Vanderhuge, thank you for the sub. As a matter of fact, I still listen to 6 Days, Smoking Banana Peels, Plum Dumb, Tiny Town. There's a bunch of Dead Milkmen still on my rotation. Yeah, Punk Rock Girl was their radio hit. Hit being I use that term loosely, but it was their video. It was on MTV and stuff. It was probably their most known song. That and Bitchin' Camara. I hear about these switchback roads in the bottom left, but we went there yesterday and we didn't see shit, so maybe we went to the wrong spot. We can try again. What's up, Insano Dad? Good to see you. Do I think New York will burn to the ground if the next one? No, I don't think so. But I guess I'm not that hyperbolic. I think that I don't think that New York will be any more destructive than Philly. Philly's the most burn it to the ground city in America. So I think it'll be just fine. See you later, Formal Yeti. Whole city made of asbestos. Nixon for Bing Bong. Don't set yourself up for disappointment like that. You Nick fans are in an awesome position for the first time since 1999. Temper your expectations. Knicks could win it. I'm not saying they won't. but they're not going to win it in 4. They might win it in 7, but they're sure as hell not going to win it in 4. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. I thought you were talking about Nick. No, the Knicks, not Nick. Knicks, not Nick. I wanted to do a Nick, not Nick draft a while back. I don't know what happened to that. All right, 15 minutes. We're good. Okay. Nailed it. Let's tell you what, while I'm continuing to do this, I'm going to switch this to... No, I don't need that. We'll stick it at 1080p. Okay. Okay. Where are the cherry blossoms? Somebody said they're down here. We looked right here yesterday, and there were definitely no cherry blossoms if this is the switchback area you're talking about. Is that correct? We drifting? Nah, we're just filming backgrounds. Maybe season based then. Yeah, we drove all through this yesterday, and there were definitely no... Let's just go back there again. The thing in the water is the spot I was talking about. So, thing in the water. So am I in the right spot? Goodbye, babe. I love you. Have a good day. This is where they would be. Yeah, then I just don't think they're here right now. Must not be. Spring in the game. I'll just explore around here. Whoa. There's a cool bamboo forest. That'd be cool. Where's the bamboo forest? Right side of the map, I think. Oh, that arch is cool. Is that the arch you guys are talking about? Film that. Uh-oh. Return. Must have got too far away. I wonder if I got too far away or if that was too far over the water. Maybe that. Let's see. See if it kicks me. Yeah. You just can't go too far over the water. That's okay. Let's figure this shot out. We'll do this for 15 minutes. Thank you, Crimson Shade, for the sub. Appreciate you. Good morning back at you. Can you drive up to Mount Fuji? Can we get up there? We're just filming backgrounds. Traveling Matt. What's up, Kyla? We'll be sitting here for another 14 and a half minutes. Is Cavan's car available in this game? I assume so. Unable to drive up Mount Fuji. Maybe that'll be DLC. Oh, somebody says you can. Ugh. Conflicting opinions back to back. You can get close, but not up to the top. Okay. How am I enjoying the game? I haven't played it. The tutorial was annoying. Mostly I'm just filming backgrounds in it. It's great for that. It's exactly as good, if not... I mean, it's exactly as good as 5 was, but better environments. It's perfect for what I need it for. Floating lanterns where? Is this the car that 17-year-old you would want? 17-year-old me was happy with any car. I just wanted a car that got me to school. You want to throw the whole truck into one of Saturn's moons. Mark's going through it this morning. Floating lanterns under the arch. Oh, okay. Well, we'll ride over there later. If I get too far away from my car, or too far over the water, it respawns me. I've been interviewing for a job for over a month now. 7 different people in calls. I thought it was over and was expecting a message after the long weekend. Wrong. I just got hit with an 8th interview. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, Atticus. Those are Marnet problems right there. Let me tell you. Have you ever thought of opening submissions for things like this to the community? Nope. I'm not letting you take my fun. I like doing this. I don't want you to do it. I want to do it. I appreciate that people want to help, but this is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why I would let you guys do it. I also do this just like on a Tuesday night from 10 p.m. to midnight when I got nothing to do. Like, I really genuinely enjoy doing this. I don't do any filmmaking anymore, as it were. I don't do any machinima or any of that shit anymore. This is as close as it gets, and I really do love getting to be a photographer, cinematographer for a little bit here and there on my own terms in a way that I enjoy. So I wouldn't consider in a million years taking submissions. Have you ever considered doing real-life backgrounds? I have considered it. I think it'd be too much work. I don't want to do it that badly. I appreciate this. I appreciate being able to sit down and in 30 seconds be filming something that I need to film in Japan or wherever, the moon or somewhere in space or somewhere in the jungle. I appreciate the flexibility of video games. Insano Dad, can we ever submit backgrounds? No, absolutely not. I appreciate the offer from all of you, but this is, like I said, this is as much for me as it is for regulation. I don't want to. I don't want to lose this time. I enjoy doing this too much. So this whole tool-filled truck doesn't have a jack worth its weight in shit. No 7/8 tire iron, lug wrench, and one of the wheel studs broke off who knows how long ago, and every single lug nut was loose, and one is stripped out worse than... Oh, man, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. You're going through it, Mark. Did Gavin crash a background on the RT podcast or always open? I think it was always open. Well, I am married, not divorced. I mean, I guess I'm once divorced, always divorced, but I am currently married, Cosmic Chris, and happily so. Okay, but 10 minutes to go. I don't know that I've ever been to Myrtle Beach. I must have at some point in my life, but whenever I went, I guess it didn't leave an impression on me because I can't. Yeah, I can't place myself there. How's the PC holding up? That's why we're doing this, because it shit the bed yesterday, and I spent most of the day rebuilding it. So, so far so good today. Oh, I like that. I like that we're getting a little bit of rain on the water. That's nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? In San Dad, they're really nice little touch there. I wasn't expecting. Is that Mount Fuji? Yeah, it's Mount Fuji. Am I strictly a dog guy? Would I ever consider having a cat? I've had more cats in my life than dogs, but my wife is allergic to cats, so no longer. Last time I had a friend who was allergic to cats who tried to have a cat anyway, he fucking died. And so I'm done. As long as my wife's allergic to cats, we won't have a cat. Better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. Does she want a cat? Yes. She would like a cat. She likes cats. But, yeah. Zyrtec. Zyrtec ain't going to do it. Was that Monty? Yeah, it was Monty. Emily touched a cat a couple months ago and was sneezing and itchy for 2 fucking days straight. So, no cats for us. Thank you for the sub, Toy Train. Hey, congratulations on graduating college. What's your degree in? It's pretty easy, I think. I mean, I can't speak for her, but, you know, she gets a lot of love from the dog. Yeah, Emily is very allergic to cats, and I think it would be far too dangerous to get a cat and then hope that the cat food eliminates her allergy, and then find out that it doesn't, and then have to rehome a cat, or have her be miserable for the rest of her life. You know, I think it's easier just to have a dog. I'm not missing a cat so much. I can go outside and pet 20 cats right now if I want to. They're all over the place. Mark's he's taking out his frustration on Henry Ford. Oh, thank you, Regulation Rob. You know, I don't think I'm going to become a cat, so I'm not going to have a plan just in case. Almost 10 minutes. We got about 5 minutes to go. Cursing is verbal lubricant that makes work go faster. I completely agree, Mark. And that is a very that's a wise that's an adage now you've created. A lot of reasons to curse Henry Ford. His insane racism is one. What if Emily was a worm and you were a cat? Jesus Christ, with the... What if? What if Emily was a worm? Do you think GTA 6 will have good opportunities for backgrounds? I don't know. If it has first person, it will. I used to do backgrounds in GTA 5, and people thought they were too distracting because there was too much going on. So if that's the case in GTA 5, I don't know that it won't be the case in 6 as well. People tend to like the more serene backgrounds. Ooh, thank you for the sub, Crescent Rose. Spent a lot of time around the Ford family with in my Michigan life. Spent a lot of time at Greenfield Museum. Or what is it? Is that what it's called? Greenfield Village. Greenfield Village and the Ford Museum and the Ford House and all that stuff. Yeah. Kylo Watt will not be silenced. I think he just got silenced. Are you still looking for a house in Michigan? Yes. Yes, I am. But not as actively as I was at the moment. How long have Emily and I been married now? Been together 9 years, going on 10, married 4, going on 3, I think. Every year I use the 10-hour fireplace video at Christmas. Any ideas, plans for others? We were supposed to do an 8K pool video. We never did. So maybe that'll happen someday. But I think it's pretty far in the rearview mirror. That was a fuckface bit, not regulation, I think. Shout out to Kyla. 6 years married too. Nice. Moving back to Pittsburgh next year. His wife only ever lived in Arizona, and she wants to experience winter. She's about to. I'm guessing they move back to Arizona in 2028. Congratulations, he let the rats out. That's awesome. My wife and I got married a month before you and Emily. Yeah, so it's going on 3. Yeah. 13 years. That's awesome, Insano Dad. Trying to find a house near Richmond, Virginia. As a certified Florida man, nothing has brought me more peace than the Pacific Northwest. I love it. I always thought I was going to end up in Portland after Austin, or Astoria, but my life took me in a different direction. My Oregon dream became a Michigan dream, but my Michigan dream has become an Austin reality. Become an Austin reality. I'm trying not to jinx anything, but I got something cooking in the background. Just not sure at what point I want to talk about it, you know? Am I going to become a Youper? Youper, is that an Upper Peninsula person? I don't think so. I could become a Detroiter, but it doesn't seem to be happening. I did get engaged in Mackinac Island, though, in the Yoop. Does ANMA stand for Austin Reality? No. Not exactly. Fingers crossed, Sage. Fingers crossed. Would I film backgrounds in real life? No, I don't think so. I've thought about it. It's too much effort. I appreciate the ease of this. Speaking of which, we're about to hit 15 minutes. Mackinac Island doesn't count as the UP, but it's right there. It's where the UP begins, really. Is Austin still the Velvet Ditch? No, it hasn't been the Velvet Ditch in a long time, Mark. Austin's in a very fucking expensive place to live now. It's the financially the opposite, the polar opposite of what it was back in the day when I fell in love with it and moved here, but that's okay. Okay. Everything changes, you know? All right. Let's go around to the other side of this bad boy and see if we can see the lanterns in the water. I assume we'll have to... Dickhead. Oh. All right, let's see. That was over... Oh. I can't get any closer, huh? There's no path over there. Are you sure there's... Are you sure that there's candles and stuff in the water? Because I don't think I can get any closer to it than I did. What was another recommendation somebody had? Somewhere else we can go. Yeah, I went off-road, but I got respawned. Like, I didn't do that. I didn't respawn myself back to the road. The game did it to me. Bamboo Forest on the right of the map. We'll try that next. I'll give one more shot to get over to that arch, but I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah. Let's try that again. Load-bearing tree there. It's not a Bronco. It's a Jimmy, but close. You can get in a car to drive from point A to point B, but you can't spend the night in a car. Yeah, see it. It won't let me get any closer than that. So I think that that might be a dead end. You said on the right of the map? Where on the right of the map? We talking over here? We talking over here? Where's the bamboo forest we're talking about? Or the cherry blossom forest? Where are we? Where's this bamboo forest? Up here? Just under that ring road that goes around the map. So like right here? We're talking like right around here? To the left of that speed zone. So over here? Let me find a place to fast travel to. Above the airfield. All right, well, here's the airfield. Let's look at the map again. So I need to turn around, and you're saying like right around here? Bamboo, where are you? Am I going the right way? You want me up like right here? Is that what you're saying? Where is the... Tell me where to put the... Just below the highway. So just below this highway right here?
Turn around when it is safe to do so. yards. Turn left. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Wait a minute, I'm losing my... All right, let me go this way a little bit.
200 yards. Turn right. In 100 yards. Turn left.
Jesus Christ, man. A million messages.
In 100 yards.
All right, I'm almost there.
You have arrived at your
And here we are. Sure as shit. All right, let's get this. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's get this out of the way. Film from this direction. How cool is that? Oops. Dickhead. Might work. Do this for a bit. The fence bugs me. I couldn't decide if I wanted to film around it or use it. I like that it drives the direction. And more rain. Great. The B part is the drone. There will be no sound in the video, though. The sound will be us dickheads talking. Fascist bootlickers. Yeah, no fascists. Cheap perfume's good. I like them. Wow, this is really nice. Hey, Geoff, here's an idea for another draft. Bad sex names. Ooh. We tend to avoid sex type stuff on regulation, so I don't think that's maybe our speed. What is exactly happening this stream? Sorry for not following. Nope, no problem, Jeebus. When we release the regulation podcast on video platforms like YouTube, since it's an audio only podcast, there's no visual component to it. So instead of just having a logo slapped up on a black screen, I go in every week and record backgrounds for about 15 minutes in video games. And then we loop them so that there's some sort of a serene visual image in the background that has some slight movement that's hopefully enhances the podcast for the video watchers. If you go watch any episode of regulation, or I don't remember how long ago I started it, but I've been doing it for a long time. And so every once in a while, a lot of times I do this on my own, but every once in a while on stream, instead of playing a game, we'll just record backgrounds for a day or two. Smuttiest of the smut. Well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say we're an overly sexual podcast or anything. That was a one-time bit that we did because of our wives' podcast. But, you know, I mean, whoa, that's cool. Getting windy. What kind of PC do you have? I don't know. The one that Gavin bought it for me. The tower, it's black. Got a bunch of lights and shit on it. Yeah, I'm really loving the extreme wind here. This is great. This is we're playing on Xbox. For sure. Thank you, Greeky Floorboard, for the sub. Yeah. Have you talked about a regulation draft of your favorite drafts? Many, many times, yeah. I don't think there's a lot of interest in doing it among the guys. Are there enough drafts to draft the draft? Yeah, there are. We've done, I don't even know how many drafts, 30 or 40 probably. Dang. That's trippy. Have I tried wheel controller for racing or roadcraft games? In the past, yeah. Not my thing. You should get a background in Warhammer Space Marine 2. I'm almost certain it's impossible to do. Thunder over the horizon, Tennyson noise. Spoken like a true Floridian. Get those Gulf Coast storms. I grew up on those, Mark. I know what you're talking about. $26 drafts just on the main YouTube from a quick search. Honestly, I thought there were more. Yeah, but there's also there's drafts on the Patreon that aren't public as well. There's got to be at least, like I said, there's probably 30 or 40. There's got to be at least 10 more on the Patreon. Thunderstorm rolled through last night. Are you north, Austin, Insane O'Dad? We had a little bit of rain down here, but I think it was mostly northwest of us. What was my favorite place to live while growing up? I never lived in Washington. I lived in Oregon, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana. Let me think. Alabama, Florida, Oregon, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Alabama. Out of those places, probably Oregon was my favorite, but I was real small, so it's hard to remember. I can tell you Alabama was my least favorite. And then I joined the Army, and I lived in South Carolina, Indianapolis, Texas, New Jersey. When I got out of the Army and I moved back to Austin. Yeah. Is there a way to open background submissions to the audience? No, there's no way to do it. I don't want to. I like doing this. I do this as much for me as I do for the episodes. I don't want to share. This is a really, really easy thing for me to do that doesn't require a lot of effort or work, and I don't want to complicate it by handling submissions, or you know what I mean, or other. It's just You got to deal with formats. You got to deal with down. It's so much easier just to make it myself. And I really enjoy doing it. Did I like indie? It was all right. I was 18, 19, so I wasn't old enough to go to a lot of punk shows. There was a lot of 21 and up clubs there, which was frustrating. And I didn't get a lot of time off base because I was in AIT. So I didn't really have a tremendous amount of interaction with indie. I did see a Pacers-Knicks game in 1994. That was cool. Indy is a decent city. Yeah, I didn't really interact with it too much. And that was also in 94, 93 and 94. So I'm sure it's changed a lot in 32 years. Oh, yeah, I'm not really looking for suggestions. I don't want to sound like a dickhead or anything, theme. But I've had a million suggestions, and 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. It's not possible, and you go down a rabbit hole to try to get somewhere, and then it doesn't work, and it's wasted effort and time. And I just like doing it the way I like doing it. I appreciate that people want to make recommendations, and every once in a while, I take them. I mean, I'm in Forza because somebody recommended Forza, so it does happen. But I'd say 19 out of 20 times somebody makes a recommendation, it ends up being 30 or 40 minutes of work, and then it's not worthwhile or fun, or I don't like that. Even if I can do it, I just don't like the way it looks. And I'm just really, I got a stable of games that I enjoy filming backgrounds in that I'm very comfortable and happy with, and so just do that. Do you still have the ability to smell rain? I think every human has the ability to smell rain. I saw a TikTok the other day that says we can smell rain better than a shark can smell blood in the water. Someone recommended Elite Dangerous earlier, which, while yes, it's beautiful, it's not worth the barrier of entry for podcast backgrounds. There you go. I definitely don't feel it in my knees, but supposedly humans can smell rain. Very well. The smell of rain and my front porch. I like front porches. Drink hose water as a kid. Yeah, that's all I drink. Outside water. Tiny Bookshop's great. I love it, baby teeth. I'd love to be playing it right now, but we're doing this today because we got to test out my computer because it shit the bed yesterday. I endeavor to have a front porch again soon, someday. Thank you for the sub, Vikings World. When I was a kid, I know it's like a cliche thing, but most cliches are cliches for a reason. When I was a kid, you'd go outside in the daytime. You weren't allowed to come back in, and so you would have to drink hose water. I remember I tell a story one time about how I was playing with my friend Scott in his yard, and he hit me in the head with a shovel. We were digging. He didn't mean to. He swung the shovel behind him. I was too close to him. It hit me in the head, split my eye open right here. I had to get a bunch of stitches. And I was crying, holding my head. I was covered in blood. And I went up to his front door and knocked on the door and asked his mom if I could come in. And she was like, I can't let you in. I have the baby. That means so I had to walk home covered in blood and then sit and wait for my mom to get home from work. My mom was mad at that lady. But that's just the way it was in the 80s. You didn't get to go inside if you were a kid. I hit affiliate on Twitch last week and have been having a blast creating a zone to express my love of game. And hell yeah, Longest Bill, congratulations. That's awesome. What have you been playing? I'm credited for being in Renaissance Man. Have you ever watched through to see where you are? Yes. I have watched through to see where I am, and I have never seen myself in the... I don't think I'm visible in the film at all, but I know the scene that I'm in. I remember it very clearly because it was miserable. And I happened to be at Fort Jackson, South Carolina in basic training when they were filming that movie at Fort Jackson. And so they used us as extras for PT one morning. It was fucking bitterly cold. And we had to stand outside in shorts because it wasn't supposed to be cold. And so we froze for like 2 hours while Mark Wahlberg and whoever else was in that movie had giant fucking puffy coats on and were standing next to outside heaters between shots. And I was just like in a field at 4 in the morning. Whoa. That's crazy. I was going to stop this in a minute, but I think we'll hang on for a little while. This is cool lighting effect. We're filming backgrounds today. Thank you for the sub. Diarchie, by the way. Got to finish the loop. Yeah, we need to get back to... We might stick around a little extra long on this one, so it's not such a hard transition when it loops. 2 catnip mice out from under the fridge for my cats. They've immediately thrown them under the TV. Yeah, they're good like that. I thought that movie starred Danny DeVito. It does, but I don't think he was in the shot I was in. I don't think he was there for that. He was a teacher. Was not involved in the PT scene. I don't think I ever saw him that whole time, but I did see a lot of the other actors and actresses. I know some of y'all know how old I am, but for those of you who don't know how old do you think I am? If I didn't know how old you are, Mark, I'd say you're 38. Dang. That turned spooky. Mark's an old soul. 65. Mark's like a year away from retirement. He's one change tire away from retirement. Warhammer isn't a young man's game. That I don't personally know that to be true, but it sounds true. No, I try my best not to ignore Braxter Man. It is hard to see. Just a year away from retirement. Dang. I'm going to let this go for a while. This is too cool. I don't go to barbershops for haircuts. I don't think I've been to a barbershop since I was in the Army. Just marry a hairstylist. It's so much easier. I wish I could retire next year. Probably got another 40 plus years of work. Shit. I used to really want to retire. It was my goal to retire early. Spent a lot of time trying to convince my financial planner and everyone in my life that I wanted to retire early. By now, I would have wanted to be retired. And then I found out they were all right, that I really like what I do, and that I'm not going to be able to walk away from it. And they weren't wrong. Not that I could anyway. Not in this economy. With a kid in college. And I'm about to be broke again. I'm making I'm making decisions in my personal life that are going to make me broke again for the rest of my life, probably. I do think I could if I was in a financial situation where I could. I think I could figure it out. I think I could entertain myself, but I really do love what I do, so. Sounds like house buying talk. It does, doesn't it? Definitely does. I am not buying a house in Michigan. I promise you that. But I may be in the process of buying a house in Austin. We will see. It's entirely possible that Emily and I found our dream home and are in the process of trying to close on a house in Austin right now. But I'm trying not to jinx it, and so I haven't been talking about it. And it's been a very frustrating experience. Hey, well, the game made the decision for me. All right. Okay. Whoa, that's cool. Actually, can I? How about that? How about that creepy shot? Let's go with that. Yeah, getting murder vibes. Yeah, I like it. Look, buying a house fucking sucks. It really fucking sucks. Hey, Geoff, don't buy a house twice your age. Sorry, Mark. I'm buying a 100-year-old house. I'm buying a century home. Can't do it. Teenage couple making out in the car. My current house was built in 1897. Got to check out that foundation. Already getting, I already got a quote for foundation repair. But it's the first thing I'm doing before I move into the house, getting the foundation fixed. HVAC system's 2 years old. It's only 2 years old. It's brand new. I'll still fly Mark out to look at it though. He's going to be my on-the-call repairman at all times. But you know, no pool. No. Where's the house in Austin? Is the housing market any good? Not. It's Austin's the like supposedly the most rapidly declining housing market in America right now. So there are not a lot of houses for sale, but they're coming down to earth and being approaching decent, not decent, but like non-insane prices again. I like Figure 8 coffee. Over on the east side. Actually, they have they have a location on the airport too, up like in Central. My wife is friends with the lady who owns Figure 8 coffee. They're old pals. Does not mean it was maintained or cared for. It's true, Mark. I've already gone through inspection. HVAC is the least of my problems. I got plenty of problems to deal with, but HVAC seems to be solid for now, at least. Friendly ghosts is what I'm hoping for. Why did I pull the trigger on buying another house if it's not too personal? that was always the plan. I just didn't know where I'd buy another house. I sold my house when I did for a myriad of reasons. One, because I anticipated moving to Michigan and I wanted to be the flexibility of being able to move when I found the right place in Michigan, and I didn't want to be unfairly or unduly burdened by trying to get out of a house in Austin so that I could buy a house in Michigan. And so I thought it would make sense to sell my house and then just rent for a while until the right place presented itself. And then two, with the economic uncertainty of Rooster Teeth ending, I felt like a smart decision to unburden myself of bills, but also, and the biggest reason, honestly, was I had a real good sense that the market was about to take a dump and that I wouldn't be able to sell the house for what I wanted to sell it for, again, for a really long time. Felt like I had a window where, I could sell the house this month and get X amount of money for it, or I could wait a month or two and get X amount of money, and then it'll be years before I'm able to get back to where I was. That turned out to be totally true. I sold high, and now I'm buying low, hopefully. So it was a plan that all just kind of worked out. I hope it's not turning into a content house. I hope so too. I'm not looking for a content house. Not looking for a content house. But I'm also I haven't talked about it because I don't want to jinx it, because it's complicated. Getting a loan in 2026 is complicated. I've got conditional approval, but not full approval, and I have a trust, so my name isn't tied to the house in any way whatsoever for anonymity, and that just creates all these hurdles you have to jump through. It makes it very difficult and confusing and paperwork heavy. Love it when a plan comes together. Me too, Sanborn. Me too. It's also kind of sad that you have to do that. Well, people didn't try to kill my fucking friends, then I wouldn't feel such a need, but, Oh, thank you. I got this when I was up in Portland, Maine. Feel like I missed the story. This is a while ago now. Many, many years ago. You can look it up. It was a moment that changed all of our lives. Changed how I approach things like buying a house. Dude, I hear you guys are going through it in the UK right now, right? That's crazy. Oh, that's very nice of you to say, Freelance. Thank you so much. I just hope I get it. I hope I'm able to buy it. I hope that the loan goes through, and there's a world where it doesn't, and I don't get the house. So I don't want to jinx myself by talking about it too early until I was confident that we are going to be able to close, but we'll see. Good security system. Tim Tams are cheaper here than in Australia these days. My GURP and other merch looks like it's arriving later this week. Hell yeah! Congratulations, Willingus. Anyway, what are you streaming? I don't think I caught it when I asked you earlier what you said. What games are you streaming, Willingus? There was a YouTuber I followed for years during a COVID. A fan recognized the view from her apartment and showed up at her window trying to offer her toilet paper. She quit YouTube after that day and never posted again. Yeah. Well, that was weird. They just released shapes at Waitrose. Gavin used to work at Waitrose. It was a taco, but I definitely will not forget a taco in the closet. Skyrim. Nice. I want to get a series uploaded to YouTube. Hell yeah. We'll definitely use this. All of you should use this community as a platform to promote and to encourage people to check out your streams and your YouTube. Let's share the wealth here. Do you still hang out with Gus, Bernie, Joel, and RVB friends? Friend groups definitely changed with age. Bernie doesn't live in Austin anymore. Joel doesn't live in Austin anymore. Gus and I hang out about as much as we ever did, which is, you know, we text. We text each other a lot. I wouldn't say we hang out in person. Gus and I are both kind of reclusive. You get, at some point, you get a friendship long enough that you don't need to see each other that often to participate in the friendship, you know? We just exist around each other. Yeah, streaming's a whole thing. I struggle with maintaining real world friendships because I hate leaving the house. I hear you. I wouldn't say I struggle with it, but I definitely have. We were talking about this yesterday. I feel like the older you get, at least in my case, the less you want to be around people and the more solitude you appreciate. So I definitely am less social than I've ever been and probably happier in the process. I'm glad to hear that. Must love tacos. Well, definitely, right? Speaking of, I got to finish this book too so that I can read Therist. Good morning, Tremendous Marty. I can put out an animation today, but I'm still trying to get audio lined up. 10 years behind me. Well, I tell you what, Regulation Moon Girl, I'm kind of the opposite. I was extremely social growing up, and I was definitely, I would consider myself a life of the party kind of guy. Like, I was definitely extroverted and super social and loved being around people and going to parties and spending time with people, and constantly, like, I had constantly had people living with me my entire life up until a few years ago, and always had extra roommates and friends, cousins, Gavin, whoever lived with me. Liked to be around people all the time, and at some point, my career ruined that. I hit, like, my career required me to be extroverted for so long and hyper social and, you know, with events and et cetera, et cetera. And at some point I used it all up. I just, like, you consider there's a finite amount of that in you, and I just hit my limit, and now I've gone the other way. Got about 4 more minutes. We'll hold on this. Extrovert burnout, yeah. I mean, I spent so much of my life. Yeah. It's a side effect of my career. Definitely a side effect of my career. The hardest thing I had to get over for many, many years, especially, I would say, like, maybe the last 6 years of Rooster Teeth in particular, I felt like every conversation I had was transactional. Every person wanted something from me, whether it was advice or mentorship in work or, you know, at the grocery store or whatever. And I don't mind that. I love that. I run into people all the time. I was at a bar, not drinking obviously, but I was at a bar a couple months ago and I ran into somebody who asked me if I could give them some advice on quitting drinking, and I was happy to do that. But it just felt like every time I left my house for years, it was either in my personal life or at work, every interaction I had with a person was transactional in some way, that they needed something or requested or wanted something from me, and I was happy to give. But at some point, I just didn't have anything left. Like, the bucket was empty, and I just never refilled. I think it was a finite resource that I had. I'm not complaining or anything. It was just the curse of being a founder, the curse of being a person who wants to be helpful, you know, and who genuinely loves to give and interact with people. And but just the balance got all out of whack in my life for years, and it just, you know, wore me out. Thank you, Kyla. I'm very kind of you. Anyway, I'm not complaining or anything. It's just, it is what it is. We adapt and we grow and we move on and we change with time. I'm a very different person than I was 6 years ago. I'm a very different person than I was 10 years ago. I'm certainly a different person than I was 24 years ago when I started Rooster Teeth. We evolve as we mature. I love to do it. I love to do it in these controlled environments. I like, for the record, streaming with you guys Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings, the highlight of my week. It's not the only highlight of my week, but it is a big highlight of my week. And I wish that I could figure out a way to stream on Thursdays, so then I'm streaming 5 days a week. But I have to devote time on Thursdays to regulation. I can't distract myself with other stuff. But I genuinely, I guarantee you I get as much, if not more, out of these streams than you guys do. I really, really do love hanging out with you guys in the mornings. It really sets me up for success throughout my day. I am a huge fan of you guys and getting to do this with you. And I feel a real, genuine sense of community with you all, in addition to the way I feel it with regulation. But then there's just like another layer here that just feels even a little more personal and a little more intimate, and I really do. I fucking love it. I missed you guys when I was on my cruise terribly. Y'all fuck with Australian licorice? I used to. I love black licorice, but at some point you're not supposed to eat it anymore as a dude. Like over 40s, black licorice becomes dangerous. It can kill you. I know it's in like quantities and stuff, but it's a bummer. So I have slowed down on it. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best online community, Caesar. So I'm glad you found it, and I'm glad we found you. Black licorice is the only food you dislike. I would eat all your black licorice if I could, but you know, I don't want to die. When I go for trips in Europe, I often think that spunk drink in supermarkets, and I always think of you from the AH video, not a weird way. As a former AAA roadside assistance worker, fuck Chevys. All right, there you go. Speaking of, there we go. All right, we should move on and find another place to film. What do we got? I'll go up here. Let's see what's this way. Take these branches and trees with us. We'll just drive blind and unlock parts of the map. I need to do this anyway so we can fast travel around better. Although I'm honestly pretty... I don't think I've turned in all of the last batch of recordings I have for Nick. So these... I think we got 2 yesterday. And then a bunch today already. I wonder how much more I need to film. I'm probably pretty far ahead. I'm going to go up this way. Just see what's doing over here. Ooh, windmills. That'd be fun. Go film some windmills. HelloFresh is a good deal. Especially if you don't want to spend a lot of time cooking and preparing and stuff. All those, they're all about, you know, they're all I won't say the same, but they're all like different flavors on the, or different takes on the same idea, which is pretty cool and convenient. Air fryer, love an air fryer. Oops. What was that? What we got over there? I don't want to over beach, but oh, this is kind of cool though. How's the sky look from this? This looks better from this direction, doesn't it? Let's come back over here. Like the birds. How much more street do we have? Oh, yeah, we got tons. Let's stack this so that we have some good depth to the shot. Like the boat. Oh, Cancun is great. This looks like Peggy's Cove a little bit where I was the other day. I mean, much more built up, but same kind of vibe. Not quite right. What am I doing? Let's see. Oh. Well, that's a shot. Well, that is a shot. Let's do that. We personally can't attend streams much and almost never say anything because social anxiety and low brain function, but the relaxed community vibe you all have crafted here always makes our day so much better. We love your company, everyone here, even if we aren't up to speaking up ourselves. No problem, Gentle Beast. I'm glad that you're here and that this is a welcoming and warm place for you. I hope it is always that. Thank you for gifting the sub, Beeford. Peggy's Cove is lovely. Fuck. You been there, Wongus? It is, man. I fell in love with that place. Ugh. Just like the little Popeye town at the end of the world. It felt like so cool. I bet it's brutal in the winter, but man, it was cool to check out. Community Discord server? Nah, just the regulation Discord server. Community's pretty good at running off jerks. It's true. There aren't a lot of jerks out there. We've got good vibe shield. Blocks them out. Nova Scotia in Canada is in a little ways out of Halifax. Yeah. Peggy's Cove is, I don't know, like an hour north of Halifax. Gorgeous place. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, both were just, I was blown away by. season seem intense. I agree. Kylo has an immunity bullet. It'd be cool if that boat swam away at some point or sailed away. I guess boats don't swim. Braxtonman's patience grows thin. PEI is a life goal for me. Man. Charlottetown. Cool little town, man. Small, like 30,000 people, but really charming. I could have. No, this is fine. This is fine. 3 Nova Scotians here. Statistically unlikely. I want to retire to Cavendish. I don't know where that is. Where's Cavendish in relation to Charlottetown? Thoughts on Murakami? I think I'm so happy for White Sox fans. I relinquished my fandom. I feel like it would be duplicitous at best if I decided to return to the White Sox because they have a phenom. I washed my hands of them. I was a fan from 1987 until 2 years ago, and thank you so much, Papa Nun, for those gifted subs. That's fucking awesome of you. I was a fan until about 2 years ago when I decided I was going to adopt my father-in-law's adopted team, which is the Tigers, and I've been very happy. I feel like it would be super wrong of me to go back to the White Sox now just because they have a little light at the end of the tunnel. But it's impressive, and he's fun to watch. 95. Good Lord, Braxton, man. Was it because they traded Crochet? It was just because they refused to compete and they ran the team into the fucking ground. I got sick of watching them just beat the shit out of the fans every year. It was so depressing being a White Sox fan. It was like I was so excited to have Lou Bob for a couple years there, and then it just was just shitty decision after another. I like all sports, Samaji. Has anyone else been to Tracy's Crab Shack in Juneau, Alaska? Can't say that I have. I've never been to Juneau. I have been to Alaska, but not Juneau. Intelligent Shane says, are you another depressed Minnesota sports fan? Geoff, the sports guy. I do like sports. I like drama. Reality TV and sports. Both scratch that itch for me. Speaking of which, I caught the last 15 minutes of part 1 of the Summer House reunion last night. I forgot that it airs the next day on Peacock, so I missed most of the live airing. But I'm excited to watch it tonight because on Peacock it's uncensored and has extra footage. So, fucking jazzed. Hockey is the best. My father-in-law got me into hockey about 3 years ago, and it's really, the last 2 years I've really focused in on it. And I'd probably say hockey has replaced all of my football watching because I haven't slowed down on basketball. Slowed down a little bit on baseball, but yeah, really, really picked up steam on hockey. Just in time to watch the Red Wings blow it all in the last month of the season. There are so many online streaming services, Kylo. But we love the Buccaneers flag. Every time I look at that Buccaneers flag, I think of Warren Sapp. Regulation and Jeff Mornings have kind of hooked me back into being a sports girl. I always felt like I didn't get into basketball because of the amount of scoring that happens, but I've been watching highlights, and I think I'm starting to get it. Hell yeah, Regulation Moon Girl. That's awesome. Hockey's better in person. There's no better sport in person than hockey. Hockey live is by far the best sport environment you can participate in. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, Scrinsby. Also, cool name, Scrinsby. Yes, I'm from the Hampton Scrinsbys. Sounds very elevated. Embarrassed your wife with your enthusiasm? Oh, it's just the fucking best. Being able to see... The problem with hockey on TV, it's a little harder to get into because of the nature of the filming, and you don't get to see like full line changes and stuff. But when you can see the whole game play out in front of you in person, it all clicks and makes so much more sense. It wasn't until I saw hockey live that I really understood hockey and then was able to really get into it. Oh, I'm sure they know how to, Mark. They just don't want to. I don't get how soccer isn't more prevalent here. I think it's just because we're spoiled for choice, you know? It's not an American sport, and we're pretty into our shit, you know? America's game. We got baseball, we got football, we claim basketball. I think it just has and hockey. So there's I know there's a lot of sports everywhere, but I just think that there's more competition for eyeballs in America from our other like tried and true sports, and so it's just harder for soccer to make inroads. I don't know that it'll ever be any bigger than it is. I think it's as big as it's going to be in the States. Basketball was invented in Kansas by a Canadian, though, right? I'd always pass out because it was nice and cold. Sorry, Braxter, man. Have you seen Aussie Rules Football? Of course. I've watched rugby and Aussie Rules Football. Gus and I went through a little phase back in like 90, maybe 2000, 99, 2000. We got really into rugby. For like a year, we watched the shitload of it when we lived together. I'm definitely not a rugby lad, but I appreciate the sport. I even, I mean, I'll watch just about any sport. I'm a big tennis fan. I love, I can sit and watch golf. I really enjoy watching golf, even though I shouldn't say hate's a strong word. I'm not into the dudes that like golf, you know? I'm not into that scene, but I do appreciate the sport. Columbus Blue Jackets game, and the fans who won the free Zamboni ride was in a Pens jersey. I would rather watch golf than play golf. Played golf for 23 years. I'm a certified instructor and work at a golf course on the grounds crew. Hell yeah. Both my parents went to Penn State, so I was a fan right until the world found out about. Yeah. I think golf is probably a lot of fun in real life. I think that that's probably like the connection to nature and being out in these beautiful manicured lawns and getting to walk and enjoy the pace and all that. I used to golf a little bit when I was in the Army because you could golf for, Army has golf courses on most bases and they're like $10 for 18 holes, or at least they used to be back in the 90s when I would do it. And I really did enjoy that part of it. I just didn't like other golfers. That's kind of what ruined golf for me. I like the I like the infinite possibilities of golf. Like no matter where the ball lands, you got to figure out how to get it into the hole, and I think that that's cool. You know, I think that part of it is cool. There's just a lot of creativity and a lot of like different skill sets and stuff. I just don't want to learn it. I don't want to play golf, and I don't want to be around golfers. But I appreciate watching it, and I also don't watch it very often. But I can definitely sit down on a Sunday and watch it for a half hour. Us at playing golf would just be like a lame version of Jackass playing golf, and you don't want that. Just go watch the Jackass guys play golf. That'd be funnier. Kevin has 2 golf jackets. He's got to be pretty good. That's a good point. That is a good point. He's got 2 green jackets. He's the only person I know with 2 green jackets. Who designed the latest Gerpler? The color changing one? I don't know. El Famoso, I guess. I don't know. We designed that thing. I mean, we asked for, when they said they have color changing ones, we asked for one that goes green to purple. That was last summer, maybe over close to a year ago. It's hard to remember. I'm going to look at that mod chat after the stream, Mark. I can't wait to see it. Oh, that's cool. Imaginary waffle iron. I ran into Carrie the other day. We were out having lunch, regulation lunch the other day, and the place we went to, we were sitting down, ordered our drinks, looked over, and there was Carrie sitting like 3 seats next to us, or 3 tables next to us. Dragon face Carrie, yeah. And so he came over and we caught up with him for about 10 minutes. He's doing really well. It was great to see him out in the wild. Do you guys think about IRL videos much, or is it too much faff? No, anytime we have an idea, I think we film, like we just filmed Nick's cheese gauntlet not that long ago. I don't know if that video came out or not. I think it probably did. We tend to try to film something live action on Friday, as long as we have something, We don't push it if we don't, but if we've got an idea, I think if anything, the live action ideas we probably get to quicker because we get excited about them, All right, we're at 16 minutes on this one. Stop that. Let's do one more background. Oh. Can I get on this boat? I don't tend to move in this game, but we'll do that. I just ran into this. This seemed like something fun to fuck with. We'll see where he goes off to. We'll follow his path for 15 minutes. That's a dead end over there, so will he post up and start fishing, or will he turn around and come back? By the way, the motherfucker. Dickhead. And my controller disconnected. Well, that was the universe telling me not to do that shot for some reason. well, let's see what's this way then. Never mind. Solo Horizon mode. Okay, how do I do that?
This is Horizon Solo. If you want to race against drivatars instead of real drivers from around the festival, then this is for you, if that's something you fancy.
Never mind. Whoa. That's pretty nice. We'll do it this way instead. This is better anyway. All right, 15 minutes of this, and then I'll call it a day, and then I got to go talk to a insurance company. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Converting to a Prime sub. Elite Nectar. Nectare. Nectare. You know what sucks, says Mark? I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, but now I know that they don't want tourists there, and greedy fucks are ruining it for people who are actually Hawaiian, so I could not go in good conscience. I think you're still allowed to go to Hawaii, but there is true. Tourism is also incredibly important to Hawaii, so they do need your money. In the sense that all states need tourism dollars, especially now that we've ruined our standing in the world and no one wants to travel to America for tourism anymore. And who could blame them? Because we're a fucking shithole. Yeah, listen to Vikings World. I would enjoy going to Hawaii for sightseeing, but I'm a bit sick of beaches. Hawaii beaches are pretty awesome. I'd really like to go to Puerto Rico, Mark. I've never been. Gus lived in Aguadilla for about 18 months, and I was never able to make my way down there to visit him while he lived there. I always regretted missing that window, but I would love to go to Puerto Rico someday. There you go. Matt says Hawaiians love tourists, but they hate people who move there. Yeah, Gus really liked Aguadilla a lot. He really enjoyed it. I have a friend that lives in Gulf Shores, and she loves it. Man, I grew up around Gulf Shores, and I fucking hated it, personally. My mom's not too far from Gulf Shores now. She lives on the other side. She lives on that side of the causeway now. You know, I grew up in Mobile, or in Theodore, Tillman's Corner area. But now my mom moved to the other side of the causeway over in like Foley, Loxley area. So she's not too far from Gulf Shores. Hell yeah, Hunter's going to Puerto Rico next month. Your heart belongs to Isabella? I'm not familiar with Isabella. Where in Puerto Rico is that, Mark? Humid. Florida's definitely... The Gulf is too fucking humid for me to ever go back to in a permanent way. Northwest side, close to where Gus lived. Okay. You know, I got to start. You guys would have noticed pretty soon anyway, because I got to start boxing my office up, boxing my room up here pretty soon. Probably do that. Oh, gosh, probably start doing that today. You like Foley? Have you been to Lambert's? Have you had Lambert's there? No, I don't think I have. Oh, that's a sweet story, Mort. I mean, I have agreed to buy a house. I have a closing date. I just am not considering it a done deal until we close, you know? Shit can happen, fall through. I need final loan approval before I'll feel comfortable that we're actually getting it. Will I have to take time from streaming to move it all? I don't know. I'll try to do it on a day that we're not streaming on the weekend, but, you know, you never know. You never know. You know what's crazy about that, Marnette? I appreciate the sentiment, but I will not be closing on my own house because I'm buying it with a trust. A lawyer will do my closing for me, so I won't even be there. I'm going to get a lot of stuff fixed before I move in. So you're out the gate. There's plumbing, electrical, foundation, all kinds of fence, all kinds of stuff needs to be done. Benefits of using a trust for me are anonymity. My name is not on my lease or my title in any way whatsoever, so you cannot find me through my house. And then also, if, I don't know, somebody wanted to sue me for some reason, they couldn't take my house away. Yeah, weirdos can't look up my name. Anti-dox, yeah. It's far more common than you probably realize. A lot of the people that you follow online, a lot of online entertainers, a lot of YouTubers, streamers use trusts. I didn't come up with the idea. It was, you know, recommended to me by a lot of people that I know. You are correct. It's also like a living will, a trust. So my trust that Emily and I have, it has scenarios for every eventual, like if I die, if she dies, we don't like where the money goes, what happens to everything. It's all like completely planned out. So it's like a will on steroids. It all goes to Albert. Yeah, Albert and Millie are going to be set. Downstairs on the sofa there. Last car caught fire. Oof. Hugs from Mexico. What's up, Mexico? What's up, Miko? Who gets Gavin's car? You know, it's funny. I was about to trade that car in for a new car. And then I decided to get a house instead. So I guess I'm stuck with Gavin's car for the rest of my life, probably, because I won't be able to afford to buy anything ever again. You're obligated to boo Chelsea. All right, we got 7 minutes left on this stream. It's been a really productive day. Hopefully these files, I never tested any of this with Nick to make sure the format and everything is good, but hopefully everything recorded well. So far, Elgato Studio is infinitely better than 4K Capture, which is just a hunky piece of shit. So fingers crossed this all worked out okay and that we didn't just waste our time filming these backgrounds today, but I think we should be good. Hitting a crisp 230. Yeah. I guess it'll end up being right about that. Yeah. Sticking with the rats forever. Well, we just signed a lease, so we're there for another year for sure. I doubt we'll stick around past that. I imagine we'll probably find a new place to work. Who knows? Maybe we'll even, buy a little warehouse or something someday. We'll see how we're doing. But yeah, we won't. I don't think we'll. I think this is our last year in the rat house, probably. It was just. I think we would all have appreciated moving, but it was just a lot to get together at the time of the year that it was. And, it's also right around the anniversary, and it was just a lot to do to go out and find a new place. So it was easier just to say, let's just do another year here and kick that can down the road. Beeford's back. That's so pretty. Why doesn't regulation rent out the place you're living in right now? Well, because we have a lease somewhere else, for another 10 months. And this is I guess they're both houses. This house is more than we would need for regulation. And more expensive. The regulation house is dirt cheap because of the rats. Move into the 100% eat house. I think they're full up. Splitting the rent with the rats works out well for us. How difficult is it renting with pets? I've never really done it before, and it wasn't hard at all. I had to pay like a pet deposit for Albert, but it's been fine. Rats don't pay rent. That is true. They are freeloaders. All right, we got 3.5 minutes. Are you getting that pet deposit back? I'm breaking a lease. I don't think I'm getting shit back. I gotta help my landlord rent this fucking house out, or otherwise I'm paying a mortgage and rent for the foreseeable future. That's a near future problem for Geoff. Will your move center regulation point on map? No, that's based on our birth, where we were all born, the center of the regulation universe. Also, I'm gonna just move from one neighborhood in Austin to a different neighborhood in Austin. I'm only 4 miles away from where I'm moving to, so from not from. Jesus Christ, my phone is going nuts today. Hire the rats to help me move. I don't think they're super reliable. I don't think they're those kind of rats. Well, I don't own either of these places, so I wouldn't get the insurance out of it. It would be nice for regulation to own a building someday, though, like a little warehouse that we could, that was all ours. Maybe if the housing market, commercial market continues to crash, maybe someday we'd be able to afford some tiny little place somewhere. But I think regulation will probably just go from rat house to rat house. It's kind of our speed, kind of our budget, We're a rat house kind of budgeted company. I don't see us being like a Rooster Teeth, where we're property magnets or anything. Oh, okay. Multi-Pirate will build us a building. I do like that. I like that idea. What happened to the thought of moving to Michigan? Still there. I just never found a house. Been looking for 3 years. And honestly, as much as I would love to own a house in Michigan, it feels weird to own a home in a city that I don't live in, where I get to spend maybe a month of the year there while I rent 11 months out of the year in the city that I do live in. It feels backwards. And, you know, when Rouge Teeth ended and we started regulation, I didn't know what the future held for regulation, so I wanted some flexibility to leave Texas, leave Austin. Austin's a very expensive city to live in anymore, and I wasn't sure that I'd be able to float it depending on how things went. But regulation's doing well, and Emily's, salon is doing well, and so both of somebody's having a bad day. As long as both of our companies are in Austin, it feels like we're in Austin. It would feel weird not to be in Austin while that's where both of our businesses are. Thank you, Notbot. Dude, I would love to own a piece of property in Deputy. I feel like the people of Deputy would not be so cool about it. That's not a outsiders are welcome kind of town. We got some real sketchy vibes from Deputy when we were there. We were very happy to leave when we left. Scott's got to hit the dusty trail. We'll see you next time, buddy. They don't like, I don't think they like this. No, I definitely didn't get the impression that they did. All right, that's our 15 minutes on this. Boop. I think that will do it for the morning stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you to everybody who donated, who said a kind word, who's subbed, who just spent some time hanging out, shooting the shit with us. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Don't forget to listen to the Regulation Podcast. Episode 107 is out today, I believe. And Friday, don't forget to tune in at 4 p.m. Central Time to the Regulation Podcast Twitch channel for our Friday afternoon stream from 4 to 5:01 p.m., the best time of the week. It'll be myself and everybody else, I believe. And I hope everybody has a fucking awesome rest of the week. I love you dearly. I'll miss you until next morning when we get to do this again. Take care. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.